everybody, welcome to the return of the Loud State. I am Adam Hernandez. With me, Josh Hauslander. Josh, we're back with Loud State. I'm excited. I'm happy to bring back this show. This is something that I've always wanted to do, like a music-driven podcast, and we've done it before. It kind of fell out of on the back burner. Actually, you know what? We haven't done this show in 3 years.
Really? Has it been that long?
It's been that long. That was the last time that the last show went up was 3 years ago.
Wow, yeah. I didn't realize it had been that long, Adam.
Yep. So 3 years ago.
That seems like I feel like I haven't even been podcasting that long.
Yeah. I think you had what, like 7 kids then.
Yeah. I only had about 7 years experience of podcasting then when we started Loudcast.
Loud State.
Loud State, yeah. Well, why did I call it Loudcast? Loud State. See, it's been that long, I forgot what the show was called.
But, we are, I'm not quite sure how many times we're going to be doing this. It's definitely not going to be every week. We are definitely going to do this at least once a month, though.
It's definitely not going to be every 3 years.
No, it's not going to be every 3 years. We're hopefully looking to do this once a month, maybe twice a month. We'll see. We'll see how things go with it. But I'm happy to bring it back. I'm happy that we are bringing it back. And let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah, and you used to host this show with Nick Hauslander, my cousin. But I hope I can fill the shoes and pull the duty and do a decent job, because I like what we did in the past with this show.
I don't have my hopes up. But it's you do like Aerosmith, which it's fine. It's fine. I won't hold that too much against
your
you,
past host did as well.
Yeah,
like Aerosmith.
Nobody's perfect. And Aerosmith, anybody who still likes Aerosmith now, it's
Aerosmith isn't
fine.
Perfect, but they're still awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
They haven't done anything in 15 years worth listening to, but they're
okay. To be fair, anybody who likes Aerosmith and the new stuff that they're coming out with, is that?
I don't know. I'm with you there.
Okay.
You don't know. You're not.
Okay.
You're not getting any disagreement from me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna trash on Aerosmith in that sense, because yes, they are a legendary band, and they. Anybody who likes the stuff that Aerosmith is coming out with now,
I'm pushing 40, and they haven't done anything since I was a teenager that was worth listening to. That's just the truth. I don't know how you can say otherwise. Well, they're still great to see live. If you have a chance to see them live tomorrow, take the opportunity. Absolutely take the opportunity. They're a talented band, and when I've seen them, it's been years since I've seen them, but they play old stuff, so go see them.
All right. Well, speaking of old stuff, and it's not really, I don't know if it's really something that's old, but
sure.
I saw this the other day. Starting July 1st, Josh, Best Buy will no longer sell CDs in their store.
This bums me out more than words can express. I'm serious.
Yeah.
This really bums me out.
You know why this is kind of weird, Josh? Because this is really the music medium that we grew up on.
Yeah.
It was CDs.
Yeah.
CDs and now we've reached that point in our lives when, maybe when vinyl started to, take its downturn.
I know people don't like to talk about it now too, but this happened with tapes too. This happened with cassettes where people were,
You know what I see tapes and cassettes? I kind of see them as like a filler. Kind of like maybe like a bridge to, the next reel.
I remember when CDs were, when I was like a preteen teenager, when CDs were coming in, people are like, oh, but I still like tapes. I do remember that.
I never got into tapes. I had some tapes.
I love them.
There's a tape deck in here right now. I just never got into it. There's a CD player too.
I still listen to tapes weekly.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I love tapes. I love CDs. I don't know what to do about this. I don't own an iPod, Adam. I know that it's weird. I podcast. I do podcasts.
But you have a phone.
I do.
Nobody. Apple though is discontinuing basically their entire iPod.
Is that done too? Now
Well,
it's all
well, what they have now is they have an iPod available to buy, but it's basically an iPhone without calling.
It's just not a phone
features
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, their iPod looks like the iPhone, except you can't make calls.
Which at this point, and this is not how I listen to music because I'm very old school, but at this point, you would be better off just getting yourself an old iPhone or an old Android and just using it, just not activating it as a phone,
or just using your phone. I mean, because that's how I listen to a lot of my music. I have a $14 a month family plan through Apple Music, and everything is on it.
Do you know how much I pay per month to listen to all my old CDs?
Nothing.
$0.
Yeah, I mean, I have all my old CDs too, but you lose them and they get scratched up.
All my CDs, my tapes, and my records, my 8-tracks.
I'm with you though. I mean, I look, whenever I got $10 when I was younger, when I was like 15 years old.
Yeah,
I would go out and buy a CD.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Not only that, I mean, it's not just Best Buy, but Target. They're looking to do a consignment with their music vendors, which means they don't pay the vendor until they actually sell a CD. Mm-hmm. So they're not buying stocks of CDs or having to sell them back for credit. The ones that they don't buy. But
this would sound to me. This would sound cool to me. That Best Buy and Target are doing this because, like, I should be viewing it as, oh, cool, I can go to these places and maybe get some cheap CDs. But the problem is their selection sucks so bad at Target and Best Buy that's not really even a thing.
I know it's. I mean, Best Buy was okay for a little bit. I mean, they had a decent selection, at the peak of what I'm assuming were the CD sales. But I mean, it's just all. I mean, just people aren't buying them anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and Best Buy's already in trouble to begin with.
Right.
I mean, financially.
It's so weird to me to hear that Best Buy is, because to me, I've never been like a big computer tech guy, but to me, Best Buy is a CD store. Like that. That's what, when I think Best Buy, I still think of it as a CD/DVD store, and that's not even a thing anymore.
You know what they're still doing though? They're still keeping vinyl. They're going to still be selling vinyl for the next 2 years.
Yeah, but so that's on its way out too.
Well, vinyl, I don't think.
Because I love it that they sell vinyl.
Well, the thing about vinyl is, and I was going to get to this. We might as well bring it up now. I think that there's something a little bit more nostalgic about vinyl than there is with CDs. And I will say this, vinyl. It's almost like you're buying a piece of art.
Yeah.
When you get vinyl. I mean, there is because they do things with the vinyl. I mean, you can buy colored vinyl. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have. I've seen it before where they have like weird shapes to the vinyl. Mm-hmm. And then the artwork, the album artwork on the covers and everything, and then the inserts and I mean it's great. I mean, and CDs were somewhat like that when they first came out, except then they started to get lazy with it.
They did.
Then you started to get like the one sheet inserts that you couldn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't have lyrics or anything on them, and.
Oh, I'm a huge liner notes fan.
Oh, so am I. And I just loved opening it up and just looking at the stuff. But manufacturers, record labels, distributors, they got lazy with it.
And a lot of things that people don't realize too is the comeback vinyl made, because you see all these things come out in vinyl now, and they're selling vinyl at Best Buy. That's new though. Mm-hmm. 10 or 15 years ago, you couldn't get vinyl. But now it's and I know this because I've always been a big vinyl collector, and I love my record collection and collecting this stuff. But 15 years ago, it was very difficult to get vinyl. Now it's everywhere. I mean, even newer groups release their stuff on vinyl. But is that stopping? I mean, are bands still going to release stuff on CD? And it's just not going to be for sale at Best Buy? I mean, will you be able to go to specialty shops and get CDs? I know maybe vinyl, but will you still be able to get CDs?
I'm sure
or
you.
is that
I'm,
on the way out?
I'm sure you still. I'm sure you're still going to be able to buy CDs. It's just you might. I mean, you're going to have to buy them online, or
because I'm wondering if bands are even going to release stuff on CD when it's not being sold.
Well, it's still a lot cheaper to release stuff on CD than it is vinyl.
Yeah, that's true.
As far
I just
as
hope the market's still there for it. That's what it's all about.
For CDs.
Yeah, because that's what I want. Stuff
I think that they're. I mean, CDs aren't dying out totally with this. Okay. It's just a big step back in the market. I mean, and look, CDs weren't perfect. Were they better than cassettes? Yes. Are they better than 8-tracks? Hell yeah.
You know what?
But
one thing I have a problem with that though, Adam.
What's that?
Were CDs better than cassettes when they came out? Yes, they were. They were better in a lot of ways. But as somebody that this is how I listen to my music is on these old things. I do not. Sometimes I'll hit YouTube up on my phone for something, but I do not have any apps on my phone that have music saved. I don't have any of that stuff. I listen to my music on these old platforms, and one thing I'll say about CDs is that when I grab an old CD that I haven't listened to in 10 years and put it in, sometimes it skips, and I have issues with it. It sucks, but when I grab those old cassettes and play them, they don't. So in some ways, the 25-year-old cassettes kind of have outlived the 15-year-old CDs. Yeah, well, in a lot of ways,
I mean, well, like it with anything, though. I mean, the reason why, typically the reason why it's like that, though, is because you've listened to that CD a lot.
Oh, but I listen to those tapes, too.
I probably not as much as the CD, though.
I don't know, man.
And you run a bigger risk, it seems like, with a tape getting eaten up.
But when a tape got eaten up, it was just like, boom, the tape got eaten, it's dead. When the CD goes on, it's not 100% room, but it skips.
They have fixers for that too.
They do.
And I've had them that work too.
Yeah, some do. It's more an issue usually of cleaning the player.
The thing about the cassettes is they were never convenient. They were never.
Don't think so?
No, they were never convenient. I mean, they were never, and in many ways, they weren't practical either. I mean, you couldn't sit there. You couldn't, obviously go to different tracks. They weren't. I mean, it was.
Cassettes were great for the car. Yes. Great for the car.
CDs were better. CDs were all around better than cassettes.
Not for the car.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, and you could just tape stuff. You could just have your blank cassette in there, listen to the radio, and when your song came on, boom.
You could tape from a car?
No. Well, you're listening at home. That's a whole thing.
I mean,
so easy to tape from CD to cassette. So easy to tape from
we're
radio cassette.
We're in a different era now.
That's all. That's a moot point, really.
In streaming, look, there isn't a lot not to like about streaming. And yeah, you do pay.
Keep telling me.
I do pay $14 a month, but you know what? I don't have to pay anything when something new comes out. I don't have to go and pay another $14 when a new CD comes out.
Yeah, I fully admit too, man. I'm a dinosaur. I just like the old stuff. You know? Yeah. I admit it. I'm not saying I'm right.
It's time to get a little bit more progressive, Josh.
Perhaps, but it's not going to happen though. It's not going to happen for me. I'm a stubborn old dude.
What was the first CD you ever purchased?
First CD ever purchased? Oh, you're going to love it.
What was it?
You're going to love it. We already mentioned it partially. Get a Grip by Aerosmith.
Oh, was it?
Yep. Okay. Aerosmith Get a Grip was the first CD I ever...
I can't really remember what my first one was, but there were 3.
Okay.
There were 3. I'm just not quite sure. I think I'm sure which one came first, but all of these came basically at the same time.
Okay.
One of them was Green Day Dookie.
Oh,
and I think that was the first CD I ever had, and I still have it too. Mm-hmm. Actually, I got
my original copy of that as well.
I think the other 2 my dad has, but the other 2 was Nirvana Unplugged.
Cool.
And
you're young. You're younger than me. I can tell because like that. I had CDs for a while when Nirvana Unplugged came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the other one is going to sound a little obscure based on the first 2. Blues Traveler 4.
Oh, that's a good record though.
I love Blues Traveler.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's a good record.
I love them. My wife always makes fun of me too, but I love it.
No, I like Blues Traveler, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
I don't know what she has against them too. I really don't.
She's got a problem with fat people, doesn't she?
I mean, John Popper, he's good front man.
Oh,
good front man.
And I mean, come on, name a better harmonica player.
Tom Petty?
No.
I was just throwing out another harmonica player.
No, I love Tom Petty.
Steven Tyler?
Nope. Dude, you just named two of my favorite frontmen, two of my favorite people from two of my favorite bands ever, in Steven Tyler and Tom Petty. And compared to John Popper on the harmonica, nope, not even close. They don't even touch him.
John Popper on the harmonica. Yeah, I don't know if I can name another harmonica player.
Well, you got Magic Dick from the Jay Giles band. He's got to be up there on the list.
But he's no John Popper.
No John Popper. And again, you got Steven Tyler, you got Tom Petty. Mm-hmm. Those are probably like the top four right there, But I wasn't prepared to name, my top harmonica players.
It's funny because on the way here tonight we were talking about we're gonna do maybe top bass players and top drummers.
Yeah. We should do top harmonica players at one point.
Well, I think we just did it.
Yeah. But I don't have my top 10 to rattle off.
Oh my god, there are top 10 harmonica players, but
you do got to talk. Magic Dick from the Jay Giles band for sure was got to be up there on that list.
Well, we're gonna.
I can't remember the name of the dude from the Crash Test Dummies.
Oh Jesus Christ! I hated the Crash Test.
Oh
Dummies.
Really? I wasn't necessarily a huge fan either. But they had a guy in their band whose name escapes me at the moment. Who all he did in the band was play harmonica and mandolin.
Yeah, I could not get into the Crash Test Dummies. Yeah. It's not at all. No. I'll leave that alone. You know what though, and I don't know if the Crash Test Dummies are broken up, but Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes,
they're reuniting. In which case, I don't even know if the Smashing Pumpkins really broke up because it's always just been Billy Corgan,
right?
Really.
Yeah.
But the thing is they're reuniting with their most well-known lineup.
Yeah, not Darcy though, right?
Well, Jimmy Chamberlain, James. Was it Iha?
Yeah, Jimmy Iha. Yeah,
Jimmy Iha, right? The least talented of the band.
Yeah.
And then Darcy's not going to be in it, but they do have a guitar player that they've been kind of touring with for a while, who's also going to be part of it. But yeah,
is it the chick from Hole who is also in Hole? Is that who's?
No, I don't think
it's somebody else.
No,
on bass?
I don't. I think no. I think it's a guy.
Okay.
I think it's a guy that's doing it. But yeah, no Darcy, but you do have 3 out of the 4 most well-known of that lineup. They're reuniting. They are doing new music, too, with it. So
it could be cool.
It's not one of those, just, we're touring and
how
and
woke
rehashing.
Is their music going to be with Billy Corgan and him being so woke?
Oh, Billy Corgan?
Yeah. Is it going to just be about wrestling and stuff?
He does. He owns the NWA now.
Yeah.
Not the group, but the wrestling organization.
Yeah, the National Wrestling Alliance, not the rap group.
Yeah, not niggas with attitude.
Yeah, not them.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't. I mean, if they are going to reunite, I'm happy that they're bringing back this version of the band.
Yeah, I want to see them in concert. Do I care about new music by them? I don't know. If it's good, I'll listen to it, but I don't know that I'm like super excited about a new Smashing Pumpkins record. Like I said, I'll play it by ear. I'll listen to it, but I don't know how excited I am about that. If they come to one of my local venues, I'm down. I'm there.
Yeah,
a lot of bands from this era, when they reunite and they say, "Oh, we're gonna come out with new music,"
it's usually not that good.
And yeah,
because you know what it does? It conforms to what today's kind of
right.
And I know Billy Corgan has always been about the experimental
sure
aspects of his music, but sometimes I think he takes it a little too far.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a fan of a lot
well,
of the stuff.
Do you know what
I
think when it comes to 90s bands? And, you know, I mean, you and I are both kids of the 90s, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kids of the 80s, but, you know, your music age is, I feel like, when you're a teenager, you know, and that was in the 90s. And I love that music. I still love that music. I think it was great stuff. But I don't feel like a lot of those 90s bands have really been able to transcend into the next level. And when they've come out with later music, I haven't been a huge fan of it.
But you know what, though? I think that there's been some bands that have been able to do that. And I think the Foo Fighters have been extremely... For sure. I think the Foo Fighters have been extremely good at adapting their sound and making it new, but not so new that it's kind of trampling on what they were before that made them successful.
Green Day maybe is one, too. I think that has
Green Day is one of those...
kept going. Weezer.
Yeah. One of my favorite bands. I always thought the Deftones did a good job at doing that too. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Even New Alice in Chains.
It's all right.
I don't think it's gone down the road where a lot of those other bands have. That's just that's not so and so.
Well, do you know what Alice in Chains kind of did? I think I'm a huge Alice in Chains fan, and their newer stuff with the new singer is it's all right.
He sounds a lot.
Oh, he sounds like I've seen him live. I've seen him live twice, and he's great.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
I've seen Alice in Chains live 3 times. Once with Lane Staley, twice with the new dude, and sound great. They sound amazing. They might sound better, honestly, with the new guy. To be.
He's not drugged out like Lane Staley was.
Right, exactly. And their new music is when I listen to Alice in Chains' new music, I think the reason why it's okay and why it's decent is because they don't try to make it sound new at all. I listen to it and I feel like, oh, this sounds like Alice in Chains. You know, it sounds like old Alice in Chains. And that's cool, but nothing has blown me away that they've done. When I go see Alice in Chains in concert, I want to hear stuff off Dirt and Facelift. And, you know, that's what I want to hear.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of people want to do that. That's what kind of sucks about some of those older bands is they can never live down their past and they can never move forward with anything because they're always stuck with, what they did before. And it's tough.
Yeah, where some of the great bands from the 70s, I feel like they were better at that. Maybe your favorite stuff still is in the 70s, but they still made good stuff in the 80s and 90s. So I feel like they were maybe a little bit better at it than the 90s bands were. Because I make a big comparison between 90s and 70s bands a lot. I feel like they have a lot in common. I feel like the music has its differences, but there's some similarities there too. And that's why those are pretty much my 2 favorite music genres, 70s and 90s.
Well, Josh, bands, and where we're going with this is bands that we want to see reunite.
Yeah.
Who are some bands that you want to see reunite?
Well, okay. Do you know what's funny about that question, Adam? Is you say like the bands I want to see reunite is for years and years and years, the easy answer to that I thought was a pipe dream. You'd say, if any band in the world could reunite, who would it be? It would be Guns N' Roses.
And they did it.
They did. They did. And what's weird is, like, I saw them; they were great, but they were hands down at the top of this list for me, with being, GNR, definitely the one. And what's kind of goofy, and I feel like a lot of people would disagree with me, even GNR fans would disagree with me on this, but if you ask me that question, the answer is actually still GNR, because I want to see him reunite with Izzy Stradlin.
And Slash.
And, Slash is there.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah,
you're
Slash
right.
was there.
Right.
When they reunited, it was Axl, Slash, it was Duff. And that's huge. I'd love to see him with Izzy Stradlin. And I would actually like to see the Illusions lineup. I would like to see Axl, Slash, Izzy, Duff, Matt Sorum, and Dizzy Reed.
Okay.
That's the lineup I would love to see. I know Steven Adler is still alive, too. And I'd love it if maybe he was there, maybe playing backup drums to Matt Sorum or something. But it's actually, as much as Appetite for Destruction is maybe one of my favorite records of all time. It's actually the Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2 lineup of GNR that I would love to see reunited.
Okay. I'm going to throw one at you right now. I'm going to go with the obvious one right now, and that's Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
I want to see Led Zeppelin reunite because they can do it. I mean, they've got 3 of the 4
John
members.
Paul. You want Jason Bonham on drums?
Yes. Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, yeah, Jason Bonham. He's an excellent drummer.
Yep.
He can take the place, and I'm like they did the Page and Plant thing, but it'd be great to see John Paul Jones on the bass again.
Yeah, Page and Plant was. It was an insult.
Right.
It was not only was it an insult to John Paul Jones, it was an insult to Led Zeppelin fans everywhere.
It was.
To do that and not go as far as you can with it. Obviously,
they wanted their names. They thought they were bigger than the band.
Yeah. And that shouldn't be the case here, but Led Zeppelin.
That's a great one, Adam. And I loved it when I don't know if you saw this. This was several years back now at this point. But when Led Zeppelin was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they all got up there and gave their little speech or whatever, and John Paul Jones got up there and they handed him the award. And John Paul Jones looked right into the crowd with Page Plant. He was just like, hey, I know you guys must have lost my phone number, but I'll make sure to give it to you backstage, and maybe we could hang out sometime. And it was just like, because it was so obvious. It was like, why was he not included in that? And the way he was at that point, at least this was the persona or the idea he was pushing, is that I don't know that he would have even cared if they called it Page and Plant. He would have played the bass for him had they just called him up. And I don't get it. I'm with you. And the thing is, with the Page and Plant, they were such divas about it. They wouldn't play Stairway to Heaven. Mm-hmm. I know Stairway to Heaven's overplayed, all this stuff, but I'm sorry. You see,
I want to hear Stairway.
I want to hear Stairway too. I want to effing hear Stairway.
Yeah, if I'm going to a show, and even if it's just Robert Plant,
yeah,
I want to hear fucking Stairway, so you better fucking play Stairway.
I'm with you, Adam, and I cannot stand it when bands do that. I think it's bullshit. And, okay, Stairway to Heaven was overplayed. Do you know why Stairway to Heaven was overplayed?
Because it's an awesome fucking song.
Because it was one of the best goddamn songs ever written. That's why it was overplayed. They played it because it's awesome. It's awesome. It's one of the best rock songs ever put down. It's one of the best rock songs ever recorded.
Yeah.
No, we're sick of it. We're not going to play it. Well, fuck you. Seriously. Screw you, Page and Plant, that you won't play that song because you're sick. I don't care if you're sick of it. We love it.
You know what my favorite Led Zeppelin song is?
What?
It's No Quarter.
Oh, it's a good song.
Yeah, I love No Quarter.
I love rock and roll.
You like rock and roll?
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
But so many Zeppelin songs I love. I mean, but yeah, that's my favorite album is 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I not just because of Stairway, but yeah, Stairway plays a part. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Stairway is a great freaking song.
People should be ashamed of liking a good song.
Yeah, I know. There's a reason why it was awesome.
What about another one?
Another one I have, but we're gonna do a thing where we talk about our forgotten gems.
Or a throwback album.
Yeah, throwback album, Forgotten Gems. Kind of.
Well, it's just, you know what? Save it, because I was.
So that's one of the bands, actually. Because
I think the whole aspect of that is just gonna be like some throwback stuff that we've been listening to the past week.
Right.
So let's take one album. So save that as your one album.
I will. I'll save that.
What's another one then?
Another one that I would love, and I know you're gonna maybe call me a dork for this or something, or make it seem even older than I am, but I would love to see Simon and Garfunkel reunite.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, because Paul Simon's saying that he's going to stop touring.
Yeah, and Paul Simon's been the one who's always been kind of an asshole about it. Mm-hmm. When they've asked, Garfunkel's kind of said like, "Oh, I do it," and Paul Simon's he's a dick about it. I mean, he's always like, "If I was Art Garfunkel, I'd want to reunite with me too." And it's like wow, thanks, jerk. But I would love to. I love the old Simon Garfunkel stuff. I'd love to see that reunification, and again, I don't want a new Simon and Garfunkel record. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm asking for. I would just pay way too much money to see Simon and Garfunkel play together. hear them sing. You know,
look,
I would pay too much money to see it. You know, and they could do it. They could tour, and I just want one good world tour and come to Detroit, and I'll pay you a stupid amount of money to see you guys sing and play those old songs.
No, that's something that I can appreciate that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Another one for me, I want to see, not necessarily the entire band, because whatever. I want to see Roger Waters and David Gilmour get back together.
That'd be cool.
I want to see those two get back together and do some Pink Floyd stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, this may be sacrilegious a little bit with some music purists out there, but I like Pink Floyd more than I like Led Zeppelin.
No, I can see that, man. I
like them. I like them more.
No, Pink Floyd. I
love Pink Floyd.
When I hear,
I love Led Zeppelin, but I like Pink Floyd.
I love them both too, but Pink Floyd to me, that was like, Pink Floyd to me is the ultimate bonfire band. Mm-hmm. That's just the band I want to listen to while you're like that is like the ultimate chill out music, and sitting around a bonfire or something.
And the thing is too, is I saw The Wall. Roger Waters, a couple of years ago. It was at Joe Louis Arena, and it was cool. It was a cool show. It was cool going and seeing Roger Waters do The Wall. It was great, and it was more than just a concert. Obviously, it's a performance act as well, but it just wasn't the same without hearing David Gilmour be there. And I don't know.
No, and I know they both kind of play, and
Gilmour,
they both do their own thing, but it'd be great to see them together.
But David Gilmour is the more talented aspect of that band, but, you can appreciate Roger Waters.
You can't bring Sid Barrett back, so...
No, definitely can't do that.
But still, I'm with you, man. That's a great one. That'd be great to see those two back on stage, and you're not even asking for the whole band, really. You're asking
I'm not.
for...
I just want those two guys.
Those
two guys.
It's weird too, man. I always thought to myself when it came to these bands, I always thought this about GNR. I always thought this about the Eagles, which they did eventually get back together and play. Unfortunately, I never got to see them before Glenn Frey died. But you always thought, like, come on, just do it, guys. Just get back together and play. And it's kind of weird, Adam, on like a personal level. Listen, I do not consider myself a musician at all, but I played in some cover bands, and I played in some goofy bands and some silly, stupid bands over the years, and it's kind of weird because I look back at it now as I become a middle-aged man, and it sounds dumb, but some of these groups that I played with or hung out with or played with, like, honestly, I would never get back together with them because for personal reasons. For personal reasons, I would never do it. And when I look back at it now, I'm like, crap, I wouldn't do that, and I'm a nobody, and I'm not rich. So I get it now. Like, I honestly get it with some of these bands that these guys are millionaires. And when you say, well, why can't you just get back together for one thing? It's because they don't like each other. That's why. They don't like each other, and they don't need the money. So, you won't get back together and get $5 million. Like, no, they don't need your $5 million, man. They don't need it. They're rich. And not like I wouldn't do anything for $5 million. I would, but nobody's offering me anything to get back together with the junk bands I played with. But I kind of... Once I get older, I get it more. I do. I understand it, because they're like, no, why don't they do it? Because they don't want to. Yeah. That's why they don't get back together with them, because they don't want to. So when these bands do get back together, like, I feel like we as fans of the music should recognize, like, they really are doing that for us. They really are doing that to be cool and to be good people, because they don't need the money.
No, they don't need the money, and I mean, there's some real strife between a lot of these bands too that we've been talking about. Obviously, it's a miracle that Aerosmith is still together in any capacity that they are right now, because it seems like
it's amazing.
Joe Perry and Steven Tyler would have killed each other 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what's incredible about a band like Aerosmith too. And I know it's unclear whether or not they're a band right now or not, but again, they have had the exact same lineup since 1973. Since 7 years before I was born, they've had the exact same lineup. And for one thing, it's amazing with the life they live that they're still alive.
No kidding.
You know, I mean, with the amount of drugs they did and the way they lived life, the fact that these guys are all pushing, you know, they're 65, pushing 70 years old, these guys, and all five of them are still alive. That's incredible in its own right. But the fact that they actually maintained that same core group, you know, I mean, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Brad Whitford, Tom Hamilton, and Joey Kramer. That was the lineup in their 1973 debut, and it's still there. That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, it's fluky and weird, not to mention incredible.
Do you have another?
I do. I have a couple. You know, a band that, and this is a weird one, I know, because the key member of this band is dead. But I would actually love to see a Queen tour. And I know they've kicked things like this around a little bit, and I know that Freddie Mercury was Queen. Yeah, you know, I know he was, but I just feel like, okay, when it came to the writing, when it came to all this stuff, I know Freddie Mercury was key, and I know he was just that guy that could just hold the crowd in the palm of his hand while he was performing. But at the same time, good singers are kind of a dime a dozen. You can find people who are excellent singers, and being a front man, I think, has more to do with your persona, the way you do it. And I actually would love to see Brian May and the rest of Queen with a guy who's just a kick-ass singer performing as Queen. I know they kicked around with, guy who sings Faith.
George Michael.
God, I'm sorry. But, you know, I know they kicked it around. I think that'd be awesome. I would actually love to hear Queen with George Michael or somebody along those lines.
Well, George Michael's dead, too.
Oh, George Michael is dead. That's right. I forgot about that. Crap.
Scratch that idea.
That.
Unless they weekend at Bernie's,
I forgot George Michael was dead. Jeez. What a dope. Yeah, no, you're right. But I would love to see them with just... I mean... I see what you're saying, Jess. Because the music's there. And I want to see Brian May playing this stuff and these guys playing this stuff, and just kill it with a different lead singer. And I know it wouldn't be Queen. I know it wouldn't be Freddie Mercury.
I don't want to say Steve Perry is on the same level as Freddie Mercury, because he's not. I mean, Freddie Mercury is one of the greatest frontmen to ever live. But I see what you're saying as far as, because
you need two people to replace him, quite frankly, too, because you need an amazing keyboard piano player.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you need an amazing singer, but that's doable.
Yeah,
that's doable. You can do that. You can get an amazing piano and keys player.
Can they get Elton John to do it?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I mean, that would be incredible.
I don't know if.
I would love to see that, and they play Elton John songs and they play Queen songs.
Oh, you know what? That would be...
It'd be amazing.
Elton John's going on tour for 3 years, and it's his farewell.
I mean, it'd be incredible.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Billy Joel, for that matter. I mean, really, you know, I mean, that would...
I think we keep the British connection there with Elton John, but...
And I don't know that Billy Joel's a good enough singer. I love Billy. I'm a huge fan of Billy Joel. I don't know that he has the range.
I always heard he hates... He hates coming up with lyrics. I don't think he's... I've heard him say before that he's not a fan of coming up with lyrics. He likes just playing the piano. I'm not sure though,
because some of his songs have such great lyrics.
I know. Absolutely. I think he's a great lyricist, but I don't think he likes doing it.
Right.
I'm not so sure if he likes singing though too.
Right.
I think he's a really good singer though too.
I do too.
Elton John doing a Queen.
I think it'd be awesome. I think he could do it. I think it'd be incredible.
Obviously he's not gonna be as good as Freddie Mercury, but
okay. I just feel like okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but even someone like the newer, younger guys who could run around the stage and be great, like generally, I feel would be great for that role. And people are gonna be like, "Shut this Josh guy up! Don't let him on this show again." Mm-hmm. But it got like a Rob Thomas. Just somebody who just has a good voice and
mute your mic now.
I mean, somebody along those lines who, or honestly, or somebody that we've never heard of, because there's great singers. I was going to say,
there. look what Journey did to replace Steve Perry.
Yeah,
they went and they checked out Journey cover bands.
Yeah,
and they found this Filipino kid who sounds just like Steve Perry.
Right, and that's what Alice in Chains did too.
Yeah,
I mean that really is. That's what Alice in Chains did. Like we're gonna go out and we're gonna find a good singer who sounds like Lane Staley and can sing all this old stuff, and they did a great job of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's the dude from Alice in Chains. He sounds like Lane.
He harmonizes Jerry Cantrell perfectly.
He might sound more like Lane Staley than Lane Staley did at the end of his life.
Yeah.
I mean, to be perfectly honest,
Lane Staley didn't have teeth, and he was,
he had needles hanging out of his arms, and didn't want to be there. I have a T-shirt, a T-shirt at home that I still wear quite a bit. It's getting worn out, but it's a picture of a UFO. And it's like a guy pointing up at the sky to see a UFO, and it just says, "I seen him, really, I swear I seen him." And it's an Alice in Chains shirt. Because they played so few concerts that was their concert.
Oh, that's cool.
That was their concert tee, was this shirt that's just like, "No, really, I seen him, I swear."
We'll do one more each from us.
Okay.
Just because we are starting to get late again.
Sure.
Mine is... Well, another one for me is the Smiths. I want to see
cool.
I want to see the Smiths get back together. It's not going to happen. Morrissey and Johnny Marr, they really don't like each other.
Sure.
But you know what's funny though, when you're talking about singers and being replaced, I heard Johnny Marr. He sang "How Soon Is Now" on, I want to say it was Fallon or something. And he sounded just like Morrissey.
Right.
And
do you know what the ugly truth of this is, Adam?
What's that?
Is that the singer is the guy you never want replaced, but quite frankly, he's actually the easiest guy to replace in the band.
In some ways, he might. I mean,
I really do feel that way. And this is, again, I'm not trying to, because I don't have that much experience in this, but that's what I did. I was, I was a singer in these cover bands and these bands I played, and I gotta tell you, it's not that hard. It's not that hard of a job. It's just not, it's more about kind of a persona and being able to carry a tune and finding, it's not like you can just replace them with anybody, but finding somebody that can play those things is fine. Oasis ran into that same thing. Who was it? Noel and Liam. Which one is the singer? I screw that up sometimes.
They both were.
They both were, but is it Noel?
Liam was the singer.
Liam was the lead singer. Noel was the guitar player and singer.
Yeah.
When Liam would get butthurt and refuse to play in shows, and Noel would sing lead, everyone always said he sounded just as good.
That's another band I'd love to see reunite as well.
Me too.
I think Noel came out and said that he would never work with Liam again.
Yeah, no, they can't stand. They're brothers. They can't stand each other.
Yeah, and
they've always.
But Oasis was a very, very good band. I loved Oasis. I loved Oasis, and again, I would love to see them back. I'd love to see both of them back. I'd love to see Noel playing guitar, and I'd love to see Liam singing. But it's not going to happen. But again, I love to see the Smiths. I love the Smiths. I think that they're actually a very, very underrated band.
They are underrated
throughout. Especially during their heyday in the '80s. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I know Johnny Marr and Morrissey have talked, before, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen.
But hey, you know what? We've said that about other bands. People thought it was nuts, the idea. I don't know how many people told me, shut up, Guns N' Roses are never going to get back together, stop talking about it. And they did.
Yeah.
They eventually did. And those guys are all billionaires. And they decided to do it at the the 11th hour,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Axl's fat now, but he still sounded great,
He's got a cool Fu Manchu though.
Yeah, he does. Nice.
One more from you, Josh.
Okay, another one and this one is a weird one too, because this kind of happened and it kind of didn't. And I wanted this, and I thought it was kind of like the reverse of the Guns N' Roses thing, actually, because I wanted this and I thought it could happen, but now I feel like maybe it won't.
It's not Velvet Revolver, is it?
No, I was not a Velvet Revolver fan at all. No, I was not a fan of them at all, actually. I didn't even like the other group that was put together, the Soundgarden, Rage Against Machine.
Oh, Audioslave?
Not an Audioslave fan. Not a Velvet, and I did not like Velvet Revolver at all. And Slash's Snake Pit was 100 times worse. But Van Halen, Van Hagar. I really was always hoping for a.
So you want Van Halen with Sammy Hagar back?
Both of them.
Oh, both of them
yes.
At the same time?
Yes. And this has been a big call for this over the years, where Van Halen would reunite with both of the singers together, where they would do both of the sets of songs, and they would kind of like almost sing with each other. Like Sammy would sing back up to the original songs, and Roth would sing back up to the Hagar songs. But the problem with this is they wanted this, they tried it, but Eddie's such a dick, and Roth is such a dick, that I don't know if you recall this, but a few years back, Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth, without the band, went on tour together.
I do remember
They
that.
tried to do a little tour together to show that it wasn't them. It was the Van Halen brothers who were holding it up. That was like their goal with this. But halfway through the tour, Sammy was like, no, Eddie was right. David Lee Roth's an asshole. he was like, I admit it. I was wrong. I thought it was Eddie. No, David Lee Roth's an asshole, and I can't do this. And maybe Hagar is too, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like it in interviews. He actually seems like he's kind of an easygoing.
Hagar.
Yeah, seems like he's kind of an easygoing cat,
Mm-hmm.
But so that was like, it looked like it was like on the horizon. Like they were calling the Van Halen brothers bluff, basically, by saying this. And at this point now, they basically kicked Michael Anthony out of the band, and Eddie's goofy son is playing bass, which is a travesty. And now Michael Anthony's off touring with Sammy, just cuz. So, but that is still one that I think would be really cool, is all five of them.
I was never a big Van Halen fan, but that's something that I would certainly love to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar were they were the singers.
Right,
I mean, anything that they added after that, whatever it was,
yeah,
it
the
doesn't
dude from Extreme.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
I actually liked Extreme as a band. I actually kind of dug them, but that album they did, the Van Halen 3 or whatever, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
But yeah, I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see that. It would certainly be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see that stage presence and how they handle themselves.
I mean, if that ever happens, hope that your city is in the first half of the tour, because the tour's not finishing. It's not happening. I mean, by the end of it, one of those three guys is going to say, "No, what? Fuck this."
Yeah, I'm out.
So you just got to hope that your city is in the first like 40 to 60% of the tour, because it's probably not gonna find its way to fruition by the end of it all.
All right, Josh, home stretch of the return show of Loud State. Something we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look. Well, first of all, we're gonna look at the new release of the week, and I'll go ahead and name that off.
Sure,
And Josh, if you want to come up with the new release of the week.
Yeah, I don't have one tonight.
Have one tonight, but next time, if you want to name one, great. But our throwback album of the week, for me, it's Daydream Nation by Sonic Youth.
Ooh.
I actually have just been recently really been getting into Sonic Youth. I really didn't listen to him a whole lot in the past, but. You look at a band like Sonic Youth, and in this album in particular, I'm always looking at bands that help transition from one era of music to the next.
Yeah.
And I always thought that rock in the 80s was horrible. It was a bad time of rock and roll in that all-encompassing genre. I'm a big genre guy.
Yeah, me too.
Because we had to deal with that. We had to deal with hair metal.
And that's a great example of an exception, though, with Sonic Youth.
Well, the thing is I don't think Sonic Youth, I don't think they get the credit, especially with Daydream Nation, of helping be that bridge to that next era of rock music, whether it be, alternative or grunge. Yes, you always hear about Nirvana as being that bridge in that new band to kind of, open up that new era. And you look at, and even I've gone and mentioned a band like the Red Hot Chili Peppers or Jane's Addiction as being other bands that help do that. But I always thought, Sonic Youth can also be thrown into that mix as a group that helped do that. Maybe not as much of on a mainstream scale as some of those other bands, but Danger Nation is an excellent album. One that obviously I'm naming my throwback album of the week. And I don't know, one that people should go and dig out their old CD or
huge influence too. A lot of great bands.
Oh yeah. Sonic Youth they are one of the pioneers of indie rock.
Yeah.
One of the pioneers of indie rock. Excellent band. And it in indie rock in and of itself, and a band like Sonic Youth help transcend other genres and help develop other genres, whether it be emo or alternative or whatever. I thought that and again, this album in particular does a good job at being that bridge.
No, that's a great one, Adam. And I feel like with Sonic Youth, you bring up a really good point too, where you talk about Nirvana being that new band that brought forth the new era, and they certainly did. They certainly were that band. But I feel like within that genre, you have bands, Sonic Youth, Soundgarden, AIC, REM, possibly even the Screaming Trees, bands like that they're there at the forefront backing up Nirvana, but at the same time, they also are kind of like, hey, we've been here for years, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We've actually been, it was Nirvana's debut album that brought that forth, but you got, the Sonic Youth and Alice in Chains and REM and Soundgarden, these bands that they hit that scene running with like their fourth, fifth album.
Yeah.
Or second, third, fourth, fifth album. They're coming out right then, that they're kind of like, hey, yeah, we're it seems like we're riding on Nirvana's coattails perhaps, but it's really, we're not. We've actually been here for years making this type of music and progressing towards this new sound.
You know what we should probably do too, Josh, is since Loud State has been resurrected.
Yeah, it's back in a big way.
We better preface that going forward, Josh and I are in agreement with this. I think we are.
Probably.
That you may hear us ragging on Nirvana a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we don't like Nirvana.
Yeah, 110%. Man.
Or we don't disrespect. We don't respect Nirvana, because we certainly do. I respect Nirvana.
I love Nirvana.
I love Nirvana too.
Good stuff, man.
And I'm again, correct me if I'm wrong. If this isn't your viewpoint, I think that Nirvana gets much more credit than they actually deserve in all of this.
They do, and Kurt Cobain's death has a lot to do with that. But truth be told, Nirvana. Pioneers, good music. Pioneers, check. Good music, check. Nirvana has one great album, one really good album, and that's about it. That's just real. Yes, yeah, that's just being real.
I know. You're absolutely right, Jed. I just don't want people to think that we are Nirvana haters.
No,
because that's not the case.
We're not. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. You're going to hear us talk about how the Foo Fighters were better. You're gonna hear us talk about,
and they are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
different topic for a different show because we can go on.
They're a cool 3-piece band, and I mean, Kurt Cobain, was he a good guitar player? I don't know. He just dropped D, basically. I mean, let's face it, he dropped D. But hey, you could have thought of that. Why didn't you think to just drop D and make those songs easier to play?
Yeah.
You could have done that, but you didn't. Kurt Cobain did that.
He's a master at catchy songs.
Yeah,
and
dropping D on the guitar neck and tuning your guitar to make it super easy to play songs that weren't that hard to play anyway. But I mean, for real, no, I'm not a Nirvana hater by any means. And okay, my throwback album, my forgotten gem, got it right here on CD.
All right, what
is the Lemonheads.
All right,
I'm a huge fan. I forgot how much I loved the Lemonheads, and It's a Shame About Ray. That record especially is just the one that I've been listening to this album like crazy. I bet that record has that CD was not spun in a CD player for at least 10 years.
Oh really?
At least 10 years. And somebody was over my place. She was like, oh, you got the Lemonheads, let's put that on. She put it on, and I was like, wow, I forgot how much I like that. And I bet I've listened to it 150 times.
Oh, really?
Since then. I mean, it's just kind of been like in my CD player. I get home from work and just kind of like, just hit play on that. But It's a Shame About Ray record, and that's a band I would love to see reunite too, with this lineup with Juliana Hatfield.
All right.
With Evan Dando, obviously Evan Dando kind of is the Lemonheads, but it's only this record. It's only the It's a Shame About Ray record where you hear Juliana Hatfield on the bass and singing backup, because she then goes off and does her own thing. Which I like Juliana Hatfield stuff on her own too, but I especially loved it on this. The song, the bit part, Allison Starting to Happen, Frank Mills. Those 3 songs on this record are just 3 of my favorite songs ever. Awesome. I mean, but Lemonheads, if you don't know them or you knew them but kind of forgot, because I'll admit too, I like them more now than I did then. Mm-hmm. I've owned this CD for 20 years, 15 or 20 years, something like that. But I didn't realize like how cool these songs really were. And that CD is it's famous. It's got the Mrs. Robinson.
Yep.
Cover on it, which is cool, but unfortunately it's one of those things that
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, that's what people know is that's the song, that's the CD that's got Mrs. Robinson on. Cool cover, but it's just a cover. The album is great.
How many people out there do you think that's don't know that's a cover?
Oh, there's probably some. Yeah, no, there's probably some, and there's a lot of people. And don't be ashamed of this, by the way. We're not trying to like call out people and say that you're not true music fans, but there's a lot of people out there that if you've heard of the Lemonheads, the only song you know
is Mrs. Robinson,
mm-hmm. which is a Simon and Garfunkel cover, and they do a great job. And actually, this copy of the CD I have has the Mrs. Robinson on, but the original release of the CD doesn't. It's actually just has the first 12 songs, but Frank Mills, Allison, bit part, I mean, just awesome. I've been listening to it. My kids have been listening to it, and my 5-year-old daughter is just just loves the Lemonheads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just loves that. She loves the song Bit Part, and she just, but really cool album, and I would love to see that group reunite, just the Evan Dando and Juliana Hatfield duo back together. Her backup vocals are it's just so sexy.
Awesome.
Too, just hearing that,
sure.
That, because they were, and it shows through. They were a couple for a little while they were in this band, and it really comes through where they're, she's got those he's like the male lead singer, but she's just got those sexy backup vocals, and awesome record, man.
Awesome, dude. New release of the week. I want to go somewhat obscure on some of these. If you guys haven't heard a band called The Soft Moon, check out their latest release, Criminal. Soft Moon, another indie rock post-punk band. Have a lot of they do have a lot, especially in this album too. A lot of industrial rock influence in it, and again, cool. I've never been one to really hang on industrial rock. It's never something. And same thing goes with a lot of techno music. I've never been a big techno fan.
Me either.
But this band, I listened to this album today. Criminal by the Soft Moon. Go and check it out. Very, very good album. Very, very, very creative. And I'm not talking about being creative in the sense where it's too creative. I think they have a lot of good tunes on this one. Go and check it out, though. Criminal by the Soft Moon. Very, very good band. Latest album. But they're their new release of the week.
I will do that.
Return of the Loud State. So, anything else, Josh?
No, I don't think so, man. It's it's great to be back on this show. I had no idea it had been 3 years, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
You actually shocked me when you said that on air, but no, it's great to be back on this show. I was always just kind of a bit part. Oh, that's a little throwback to the Lemonheads there. I was always just kind of a bit part of the show in the past. I'm glad that I get to be a little bit bigger part of it now. And I'm very, very, very excited to be back on this show and that it's back on the air and part of the whole Empire Media TMSNX family. Awesome. Yep. And stay tuned. I'm not quite sure when exactly we'll be recording, going live again with episode 5 of The Loud State, whether it's this month or next month. Very latest will be next month. Yeah, so you can bank on this show being once a month at least.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
I think that's safe to say for the people out there listening. I feel like you can bank on this show being at least once a month.
Absolutely. So, but stay tuned. We will let you know when Loud State will be returning. In the meantime, thanks for joining us, everybody. Josh, I'm Adam. We'll see everybody later.